Hello. This is definitely a different setup and a different type of video, but you can definitely tell by the title. Let's start this video off right though. What is up, all forms of social media? James Joseph Edward Jesberger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. As you can see by the title, today is reacting to my 2023. I will be making a video later on my goals, my New Year's resolutions on 2024. But for this video, I thought I'd do like not a podcasty episode, but I just wanted to talk about my thoughts and feelings and like what was going on through my head through 2023, not just for all of you lovely people, but for my knowledge and for my sake to watch back and to see how I was and what I was going through at that time, and maybe it can inspire me or make me feel better for years to come, or maybe I was in a worse spot or a lower spot that it will be better in the future, hopefully, as we all move forward in our lives. But I love these little like time capsule kind of videos. I've noticed I hate that I've deleted a ton of my videos, even from the earliest days of 2007 when I had a ton of videos up that I wish I would have kept up now that were even super embarrassing at the time. But moving forward, I would like to keep up as much as I can. So let's jump into this with my reaction to my 2023. For those who don't know, which is probably most of you or all of you, I have very strong OCD tendencies. I've never been tested, but yeah. When I tell you that I color code my calendar and I make sure that I am on time and doing the things that I need to do, my example is on my Google Drive folder, I have 3 schedules for the year, which would be more, but each one has multiple tabs, by the way. The first one is the common one that everybody usually has. I have my 2023 just schedule in general. So every day I make sure, which by the way isn't like a time schedule, I have that on my Google Calendar, but on this, I do like the basic, okay, I need to be here at this time and just like a block of time. I have my second schedule, which is my weight loss journey or like my weight loss calendar schedule. And every day since 2022, and my weight loss journey was before that, but I only started doing it in 2022 on my Google Drive. I still have the notes from like when I first started in 2020, 2021, I believe, like whenever that was. But I put them up really quick and I didn't really look at them, so they're not like perfected. These schedules are really good with like how I have my numbers up and everything. The third schedule that probably a lot of people don't care about, and sometimes I joke around that my group doesn't care about as much, but is our tabletop schedule. Every week, a group of friends and we meet up every Saturday, and if not Saturday, on Friday, to play now Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I've been playing that since 2016. I love the game. I love the system. I've been DMing and GMing for years. But we started as a group playing Pathfinder, added more people throughout 1E and 2E, and I asked them if I could, have the honor of DMing and GMing a 5th edition game when we were getting into the thick of 2nd edition Pathfinder. Everybody was excited for it. We added more people and more characters, and it's been beautiful, and that's going to be one of the biggest topics I probably talk about in my 2023 because that's a huge part of me too. But let's start off with so I made an original video, and no offense, it was going to take like 2 hours for me to, like, even if I edited it, it probably would have taken like a 2-hour video. But I wanted to just sit down and like kind of review in my head, and if I needed to go back into my schedules and look at anything, because also about my 2023 calendars or my calendars and schedules in general, and I make a sheets document like every year, or anything that I do for business or my payments or my invoices, I like use Google Sheets or Google Docs. Like and my D&D campaigns are in there. Like I'm very organized. I said earlier, OCD tendencies. But like, not only did I put my events in there, but I also put sometimes how I was feeling, or like, today somebody forgot to do this for me, or like I forgot to uphold my promise to X, Y, or Z. And looking back already, because I did do the first video, I was originally shocked and reacting to my calendar originally, and just the way I wanted to present this video, how I wanted to sit, and like the time frame of it, I didn't want it taking 2 hours. So I was like, let's just have me do like a huge overview on like the main bullet points. And I didn't want to, and I was going originally like day by day, like this was the day that we had rehearsal, and this is the day that I met up with my group, and it was too much. I also wanted to do this video because 2023 was also a year that I was getting back into my weight loss and back into my weight loss journey. It never really ended, but I was taking huge breaks here and there. And, my goal for 2024, which is going to be in the next video, is to be back at 150 and then eventually gain weight and only gain lean mass. But I wanted to see throughout the calendars how much weight I'd put on or subtracted from myself, because I started January 2023 at 165-ish, and now I'm sitting at about like 174. Now, throughout 2023, I had gained a good amount of weight. I was back up at around like 180, 185 at my heaviest when I was like done eating at the end of the day. And that scared me, because for any of you who have seen my original weight loss journeys videos, I was not in a great space, but that's what you have to do to sometimes get through your weight loss. Some people, it's more of a physical thing. Most people, it's going to be a mental, emotional, spiritual sometimes journey for you, and you're going to have to figure out what your isms are and what you are dealing with in those moments. So I guess let's start off with weight loss. For 2023, I had put on myself like, I'm going to be back at 150 in the shortest amount of time, because I was already there. I lost a ton of weight. And like, yeah, I, in a year, got down to 180. I mean, even less than that. I think in 6 months, I was down to 180. And I originally went from 237 to 180. That wasn't even my highest ever. But that's where I started my weight loss journey at. That was just the heaviest I was at that time. And when I got down to 180, I think it was like 6 or 7 months into the weight loss journey, and I promised myself a year, or betted myself a year. And by the end of the year, I was like 150s, high 140s, and I did it. I accomplished it, but that was years ago. In 2023, I had gotten back up. I had gained like 10 pounds at 165. I gained about like 15 to 20 pounds at 165. And I was not happy about it. I was like, fuck, man. Well, actually, even in 2022, I gained back up to about like 180 already. And then 2023, I was saying to myself, I need to get back down. And I got back down to 165, and I was proud of myself. And then life just kind of hit. I had a really bad foot issue in the beginning of 2023. It's in my notes. It's in my weight loss journal, diary, etc. And I was dealing with a ton of life stuff. Like, even though my foot was feeling better, I didn't feel like I could run as much. And the beginning of 2023 was me music directing 2 college productions, Legally Blonde and A Gentleman's Guide. And then on top of that, I was also auditioning for other things, working 2 to 3 other jobs besides the music directing jobs. And I was just like, going into tabletops and having fun with friends and trying to go out on weekends and like, support and have fun and to be myself. So the beginning of 2023 was, I was 165. I had foot issues. I was music directing 2 shows. And up until March and April, that's when the Legally Blonde show ended in March. And then my A Gentleman's Guide show ended in the beginning of April. So there was like a month after I was done the first show, and I had like a second of break, because the second show went on break as soon as Legally Blonde was done. So I was like, okay, I have time. Like, I have time to relax and X, Y, and Z. And life just hit hard. I'm not going to lie to all of y'all, which I love, though. Like, that's my bread and butter. That's what I'm supposed to do as a performance artist. But I was going from rehearsal to event to performance to game to whatever I was doing, to tabletops, like to everything. And my fuse was burned out. at one point, and I was happy though. That's the thing though. Like in all of that, I was happy, and I did notice my emotions would be geared and fueled by my weight at the time. If I was heavier, I was more aggressive, I was more angry, I was more annoyed, I was more upset. The biggest word is upset or depressed. The lower my weight was, or the better I felt, or the more I was running, the better I felt overall. So because I'm not gonna lie to all of y'all, before 2022, when I was first on my weight loss journey, I had done a ton of mental work. I had done a ton of mental and emotional work. I had to lose the weight. And moving into 2022, into 2023, I was a better person, but there were things I definitely still needed to work on from that, as we are human nature and we are human. We make mistakes, continue to move on, and to be better. I'm trying to think if I can remember before I even look at my schedule and my calendar. So I would say March ended. I had a ton of events still. I was auditioning, and then we went into April. I finished A Gentleman's Guide with the college, and then I don't know what was next. Oh, okay. So, wow, it's interesting. I'm going to leave probably most of this in just so you can see my reactions and stuff too. I had reconnected with one of my employers. Not that I ever I never quit the job, but I essentially said to my one boss, hey, I'm a little too busy to do the same performing gig right now. If I ever have time again and want to do this, I will definitely come back. I came back to that position because we were working an event together, and it was super great, and I still continue to do it now, and I appreciate that person so much, and the company and everything. I also got super sick during that month. That's why I was going, oh, it was that month. I got super sick, but on top of it being sick, I also got my booster for my COVID shots because I needed it for a job that I thought I was going to do, which eventually helped anyway because I was going to get my booster anyway. But for different auditions and performances and stuff like that, needed you to have your booster for autoimmune compromised people and different things, which I was fine with, because I know I'm healthy enough anyway, but I definitely wanted to make sure I was healthy enough and putting my best foot forward with any company I was working with. But around that time, I was super sick. And then on top of it, I was sick, and then I got the booster shot, and I was sick again because anytime you get a shot, you have to deal with whatever sickness you have again. So I was dealing with that. I think I also might have had COVID during that time. I don't think I was positive. I think I was negative the whole time, but I might have been that sick at that time. Also, with being sick, I missed out on end of the year formal things that I was invited to for the shows that I was in, or for the games that I was at, or the events that I was working, or my tabletop things. I missed a couple things here and there that I was very upset about moving forward in 2023. So let's go to January, February, March, April, May. May was pretty easy. Actually, you know what? I said that I would do the year thing, so I'm going to cut that out. I'm just trying to remember, is there anything crazy that... Oh, actually... On top of all the stuff that I've brought up, whether it be weight loss and having a ton of things, and you're probably all going, well, Jimmy, it sounds like you've had a ton of work and a lot of performing things. Everything seems pretty good. I had an audition, and I will make a separate video about auditions that I've had, because trust me, I have a ton of audition stories, and I was a weird freaking kid originally, and I still am, but I had an audition after, a theater audition, as me as a performer, after years of not auditioning for theater. Now, I know as a performer, as a teacher, as an acting teacher, as a music teacher, as a voice teacher, as a music director, conductor, etc., everything that has to do with theater, I know what they're looking for. I know what I'm looking for. I know in the room what I need to do, and I know that I need to go in there and just put in the work and have fun and practice and or perform. And because all your practice was what led you to that audition, I don't know if it was a mix of, I think it was a mix of everything. I don't know if it was because I hadn't performed in a while, or it was I hadn't auditioned. I definitely had not auditioned in a couple years at that point, especially for theater. I went in and just had a horrible audition. And I'll tell you guys more about that later, but I had a horrible audition. Never got a call back. Never got a call back. And I left that audition. There are some auditions, and my theater or performance people will know, or anything in the arts you have to perform for, you know that when you leave an audition and it was super bad and you don't get a call back, because sometimes you have a really bad audition and they'll still call you back, or they'll still hire you, or they'll still because they see something in you, or they know that you had a bad experience. I didn't get anything from that show. And I'll be blunt honest, it was SpongeBob the Musical, and I was super excited. And I was like, oh my God, the first show I don't have to worry about like my hand tattoos or having long hair. I forget if I had long hair still. No, I still had long hair at that point. I didn't care, And I went in, and I think I was like heavier at this time too, so I didn't feel as great either. And when I was auditioning before, when I was around like 150s back in 2020 and 2021, I didn't give a fuck, man. I felt so good. I was cocky. I was confident. I still kind of feel that lately, but not until I'm 150s and lower again am I going to feel like, oh, I actually look good. I'm actually sexy. I'm actually confident. I do have some of those things, but not as much. I know that I am, and I know that I can be, and I know moving forward I should be better about that, but that was just a huge staple for me. I went in, and I just got my hand tattoo like for this audition, and it was like, fuck, man, In the next couple of months, I had auditions that were really fucking good. And I knew that they were good. I knew I aced them. I knew that I went in and did what I needed to do for a callback or anything like that. I had 3 really good auditions from now up until the end of 2023, and I had not gotten callback for any of them. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? So that's why I don't know if I let me just refrain again. Maybe I don't know if I forgot to say in this video or not. There were auditions that I had, obviously, I just said, but that were really good. And I genuinely think it was because I just had long hair and I had tattoos that they said no to me. Which is fine. That's your prerogative, and I'm trained enough and experienced enough to cover them with makeup, or to wear long sleeves, or to do whatever I need to do to not have them in piercings and gauges. I can fix all that stuff. A big thing that I learned from a professor at Arcadia that from my acting training was they're going to hire you for you no matter what. So they're going to work. If they want to work with you, they're going to work with you. And in some of these rooms, I didn't necessarily feel that. So I left going, oh, I had a really great audition. I can't wait for my callback. Didn't get a callback, and was like, I did really well in those rooms. There's no way I shouldn't have been called back for at least something at that point. So that's how I kind of felt about those things. 2023 was also a year of, I don't particularly go out and socialize, or I mean I would if I was going out and going to bars and stuff like that. Hopefully, I would hope I would. I'm just not a flirty person to go out and like hit on a girl at a bar randomly. I need to get better at that too, apparently. I mean, just like going out and doing it, because I don't have time or ever do it. Goal for 2024. But just through work and through being personable and being nice and being a good worker, there were tons of jobs that I worked and events that I worked and performance gigs that I did where I was just talking to people and I gained connections through that, which made me feel really good about my work and how I am. And it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like I was going to like a NAMM show, or I was going to like a theater show and talking people up just because I need to connect and socialize. And I don't know, it just felt really good. It felt organic. It didn't feel like I was being forced to do any of the stuff that I did. And people just wanted to talk to me and be around me because I was being social and good and organized and stuff like that. Also, I guess getting into this, because I want to be blunt honest and it's about me, I had a ton of interviews for like things that I would enjoy doing while I'm performing, but that are more, I guess, on the side of like techie things. And I can't tell you the amount of the amount of interviews or applications I put out for different things, that I, was almost overqualified for some of these jobs. And by the way, they're not like jobs that I wasn't experienced for, or they weren't jobs that I was just throwing out there, or weren't office jobs. They were things that I genuinely wanted to do because I'm a performance artist. There are some jobs that I would like, a social media content creator or a social media manager or coordinator or anything like that, entertainment specialist. I applied to like some of these different jobs for different companies that I would really enjoy, or even like an administrator for educational like marketing was something that I looked into too. And not that I necessarily need to do some of these jobs, but I was like, oh, I look at some of the work even while I'm performing. Are there jobs that I could do while I'm performing to help out and to do different things? Because obviously I could teach while I'm performing. Which I still do. I can do workshops with students, and that's a different form of payment, or like working with different people. I can sell my music, or I can write music and sell it, or post videos, or do whatever I need to do for certain things. And for me not to get certain jobs because I don't know, because they were just not like performance-y. I have multiple resumes. I call it my resume binder. I send my resume binder out instead of like just one resume, which if a job's like, we only want your one resume, I'm like, cool, like that's good. But I send out my 3 or 4 resumes now. I'll just say I have my 4 resumes that are techie, work, performing, and musical. So I was like, okay, well, I have at least those to send out. And there's no harm in sending all those to like an artsy job, because they all help out with whatever I'm doing. Or like for a teaching job, it doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know that, oh, I also can act with the kids or perform with the kids, or whatever the job may be. I mean, specifically, I already know this about me, and I knew this from the beginning, but I did it anyway, and interesting things and such like that. And I knew better, and I've grown. But teaching for me is like, I only want to teach when it's a classroom where they know they want to be there, and they sign up themselves for a workshop or a musical or a theater or an instrument. They actually want to be there. Even private lessons where I've had parents come up to me and say, I want you to teach my student, my kid, or guardians that come up and want them to teach their kid, and the kid's not interested, I will literally tell your parents or your guardian to their face, or tell them to their face, hey, your student, your child, your person does not want to learn. Like, they do not want to be here, and I am okay with them not coming back. Like, if they genuinely don't want to learn the piano or the drums or to sing or to perform, that's their prerogative. I don't want to force them to be here. Anything that I have to force somebody to be in a situation, which I found out throughout 2023 also, if you don't want to be somewhere, especially me or especially anybody else, like at a thing, just fucking go home. Like, you don't have to do the things that you don't want to do. It's your life. Be happy. Just be upfront. I'd rather somebody say, hey, I can't make it out tonight, or I can't go to this event, or I can't help you work this event. Awesome. I just need to know. Another thing that leads into for 2023, I've also, thankfully, and good on me, becomes more, not only confidence, not the right word, but more assertive in things that I do. I'm not going to hold back my tongue. Now, before I was very much, for anybody, certain people too, but I was very super nice. And I still am. I'm not going to deny that. It's hard to like get rid of a trait that you actually are. I'm overly nice. I'm too sensitive, or I'm too empathetic or sympathetic. And I've gotten better over the years, though, of being assertive and telling people what I want and what I want out of a situation, or what to do. And we're telling people when they ask me a certain thing, like, the old trope of, does this dress look good on me? It's like, no, not really. Like, and not being mean, but I will give it also, like, your negatives or your no's should be with a caveat or a compliment. Also, it's like, hey, well, that dress doesn't flatter you as well because I think your color's not red, like your color's blue. I think you should wear a blue dress or something. You should always lead with like a nice thing too. Or they call it like a compliment sandwich. You should compliment them on like, hey, your eyes are really pretty. You should show them off with a blue dress. The red dress isn't for you because blue is your color, and I think it would also compliment your eyes. You should always lead with that types of stuff. I'm going off track, but 2023 was also the year of me getting back out and having fun. Like, I feel like, and I know I can always be working more, and I'm sitting here like making a video, but this is work too. People don't realize that. But there were plenty of times where I was overworking, burning myself out, or like getting sick, hurting myself, like running, working out, eating in a caloric deficit all the time. And I felt like I wasn't working enough or I wasn't doing enough because I wasn't going out and having fun or going to a bar and having fun with friends or, just like tabletops was my escape. And I'm not going to lie, there was a point where everything that was going wrong at one point, I went, well, at least I have D&D, at least I have tabletops. And if that doesn't go good one night, not because of me or because of the players, it's just like the situational things that happen, that should not form my emotions or my gratitude or my thoughts of the day. The day is how you present it. And like if you lead with good and you lead with like a happy demeanor, it's easier said than done. But for 2024, I want to lead with like being happy and making myself happy and not worrying as much. Like going into a day and going, oh, well, this is shit because I didn't get to do this. Or like I woke up at 2:00 today. So now when I go to bed at 3 a.m, I'm going to fuck up my schedule for tomorrow. And so now I have to oversleep and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but at least you're striving and you're continuing to be better. Just do one thing in that day to be better and move forward. The other things that I've been doing in the last couple of years also are I apply for things that I'm overqualified for. I mean, sorry, that's opposite. I apply for things that I'm underqualified for because sometimes you get the position or they want to work with you even if you may be underqualified or something. Not to be cocky, but at this point, the things that I apply to are usually things that are in my wheelhouse and around what I want to do anyway. So for people to go, oh, well, we can't have you because you're underqualified, I would call bullshit on that because I've done a lot. I've done a lot in my years, and I don't put every single little thing on my resume. So it gets me when people go, oh, well, just from what we've seen from your resumes, it's not enough. And I go, okay, cool. Let me show you in the next couple of years how great I'm going to be versus what you think right now. I forget where my other train of thought was, but there was something else I was going to talk about with like applying and doing things. 2023 was also a year where I'm not going to get into it because it's not like my side of it I can talk about, but like personal for the other people I'm not going to necessarily talk about. For 2023, I had some friends or some people, I'll just say, or acquaintances that I don't talk to as much anymore. And it's nothing against them or against me, but at this point in my life, 2023 was also the year I turned 30. I turned 30 November 21st, 1993. Well, 1993, I was born. But 2023, exactly 30 years later, I turned 30 this last year. And which is even scary and weird to say, 2024, I will be 31. So this next November coming up, I will be 31. So for the whole year, basically, of 2023, I was 29. And, a lot of things hit me this year. Or sorry, now it's 2024. But in 2023, it hit me hard that, like, we're all adults. And just because I don't hear from somebody or I don't talk to somebody doesn't mean that they don't still care for me and still want to be around me. We're all busy and adults. I knew that, but like hearing it again like really changed my mind. Also on that, I've realized this last year. If they cared and they wanted to, they would. Don't get it twisted. Just because I said we're adults and you don't talk to me, etc., or we don't message doesn't mean that we're still not friends. But also, if you're actively doing things and people aren't like committing back to you, if they wanted to, they would. And I mean that for work too. There were a few things in the last year that I went, okay, cool. Like that's how it's gonna be. Awesome. And I realized who I am, or like what I am as a performer or as a worker, and I continued moving forward and just let it be, kind of thing. So like June, July, the summer was pretty good from what I remember. Also, summer's the biggest couple months where a lot of my friends have birthdays. So it was also a mix of like us going out, having fun. I wasn't as busy. I think it was also the year around the time that we went to the cabin. One of our friends has a cabin in the tabletop group, so like we go out and play D&D or like, you know, just relax and have fun. I think this last time was just fun. Like we went out and had fun. This next trip coming up for 2024, I'm really excited about for February, is going to be a tabletop weekend. So we're going to be playing D&D as much as we can that weekend, which is going to be like, fuck yeah, like sick. 2023 was also a year that I tried to play more video games. I did not succeed on that. Oh yeah, I should have brought up my list for 2023, like what I wanted to do. That'd be an interesting video of me actually reacting to that video and like what my goals were. Honestly, right now, I really don't care. I'm like, I completed the things that I basically wanted to do for the most part. And I can't even talk about it, but like this last year, there were a few things that also happened that I never thought would have happened, would happen in my life, and they happened. And I was like, oh, this is like a big thing for me this year. So like that was super sick to see. Now, ironically or coincidentally, I think it's more ironic. As I'm making a video for YouTube, I did not post or live stream as much as I thought I was going to. And even though this video is called Reacting to My 2023, this is going to be the video for now until a whole group of people go like, what happened to your reaction videos? And we want to know what happened and like, why did you change and blah, blah, like later on as the years come in, or months come and stuff like that. I will say it now, and I've lightly said it in other video game playthroughs that I've done before. Reacting content for me, I will do here and there, but I didn't want it to become my whole channel. And no offense to the 16,000-ish plus people that follow me. It could become less than that. It could become more than that. I'm hoping in the next couple of years as I continue to post as much as I can for 2024 and live stream and stuff like that whenever I can. And now having, like, that's another thing for 2024 I want to schedule more. But I hope that those people realize that YouTube for me was never going to be someone else's channel, if that makes sense. I never wanted it to be me reacting to music or other people's stuff all the time. I wanted it to be like, I got a ton of subscribers, basically the 16. I mean, I had 1,000 before I started doing the reactions, so I wish I would have just kept it that way. But most of the 15,000 followers who came after that first couple of videos only knew me and knew my channel as like, oh, well, he has a few other videos, but like he mostly has reactions now. And to me, it was just I was fueling the fire because I finally was seeing more success from my YouTube in the shortest amount of time that I've been doing YouTube essentially since 2007. I've deleted channels, I've deleted videos, I haven't followed through with a lot of stuff, and that's one of my biggest regrets in life. Like probably the biggest regret I have in my life, actually. And I regrets happen, and like it's not like I'm wallowing in it now. I mean, sometimes I do here and there, but like it's not like my crux. It's not like I'm like, oh my god, I can't ever do it now. And I want people to know, if you stay with me after coming from my reactions, for my personal life, for who I am, and I continue to make these videos and continue to do the things I want to do, you will find the joy in my content. I promise you that. It may be not your cup of tea for video games. You might not be a video games person. You might enjoy the music stuff. You might enjoy other things that I do, but I promise there's going to be a space for you in this community. And moving forward, PewDiePie mostly did gaming videos, and he has one of the biggest channels on YouTube, if not the biggest channel still on YouTube. And people found a joy in just him and his life and his vlogs and everything. I promise you, you will find that with me. Not to give myself like an advertisement for this video, but like I wanted to put that out there because it is going to be true. I'm willing it and I will make it happen this year. I don't want to promise like 1 million subscribers by the end of this year, but I'm going to try and post as much as I can and do all the things. Another thing that happened in 2023 was I became more and more tech savvy. And what I mean by that is the equipment that I'm using, which is one of those reasons now, and even 2024, I'm trying to better myself, and I want to learn and better myself in that. And that's mostly through tech, I think, moving forward. But I'm actually taking the time to sit down with like laptops or my drum set or mics or guitars or speakers or video games, etc. And I'm actually learning how they work and actually sitting down. And I know it sounds really dumb, but I mean like, somebody buys a DSLR, which is a camera sometimes, and all they do is turn on camera, press record, and like take the SD card out wherever they're using or connect it through a cord and take the footage. I actually want to know now as a videographer and as an editor, like, or as a composer, as like a, audio engineer, whatever hat I have on for the tech, as a musician, as a drummer, as an actor, I want to sit down and actually know how the thing works now. So the last couple of months, and especially in 2023, I've sat down with my like cameras, I've sat down with my computer, with my drum set, and now things are way fucking easier than they ever have been. I'm not even much of a guitar player, and that's one of my big goals for 2024. I have a Headrush pedal board, and I barely use it. And I actually sat down the one day and figured out, why is my ASIO not connecting to my computer as easily as it should? Also, I was like, why am I not hearing it through my computer? And it was simple fucking fixes. It was like 2-second answers that I was like, why didn't I do this originally? Like, I would have been playing guitar so much more if I would have had an easier shot. And now I have a cord just in case if I'm like, oh, my amp or my headboard's not hooking up as quickly as it should. I can now plug it into my Scarlett and it's super easy. I'm like, dude, why didn't you do this earlier? It was the dumbest thing for you not to do. And just easy things like my capture card is now literally plugged into my computer. It's not like a USB. It's literally in the hard drive mainframe. So I can now play video games at any time. Like I literally turn it on right now and play video games if I wanted to. And I guess by the end of 2023, I started realizing like, oh, I don't care as much if my videos or me, which everybody should do, and I've been telling people this for years, but I haven't taken my own secret sauce. Post non-perfect videos. Like, just post a post, because the more you post, it's more consistency than it is quality. I mean, quality should be as good as it can be, but your videos are never going to be perfect. And I have realized through my drum covers especially, but through just like playing and having fun and live streaming, like, it's more for people to have something to go to than it is the perfection of it. They want to see your human side. So in 2024, you will see me singing more often. You will see me playing guitar, because those are two things that I hate. I love singing. Guitar is just difficult, and singing, I don't always enjoy listening to myself. I know I have a good voice, and I know people have told me that, but like, I need to sit down and like learn how to edit my voice now. Now I'm sitting down with Ableton and really figuring out how to use it, really knowing what guitar plugins to use, what plugins to use in general, what to add to my voice to make it sound the way I want it to sound like. And that's the biggest thing. It's not the videos are like, oh, well, they're bad or they're good. It's like finding the things that you want to add to them to make them better is what you should look at it as. Like, and I guess I'll get into it now, because it's probably like 20 plus minutes into this video. I don't even know. I could be cracking up right now. It's 40 minutes in this video right now. Weight does not does not equal emotion. And that's something I really had to learn through 2023. My emotions should just be how I feel in the moment sometimes, but like I should be able to go, hey, you're in a rut right now, be happier. Or like, you're only upset because one bad thing happened today, but there were 20 good things that happened today. Be fucking happy about it. And I won't let other people, especially this last, I don't know what happened this year especially, but I let a lot of people control my emotions in 2023. And I want to just be able to be like, okay, is today's only a good day. Like you move forward, you have one or two bad things, but make it good things. And another thing that I learned, especially through 2022 and implementing it 1,000% in 2023, make a list every day of things that you want to accomplish. And I learned this actually from Nikki Limo, which is a YouTuber I don't follow as much anymore. But, her, Steve Green, JK News, etc. I watch JK News every single day. But make a list and tell yourself, get one or two things done on the list done. Like, if you get one or two things done, that's a win. You shouldn't go make a list and get everything done in the day because you're never going to get it all done. You can try and get it done as much as you can, and you'll feel better about it. Trust me, I have a to-do list on my computer now, and it's a notes document I just keep up every single day, and I check. But make sure you tell yourself you get one thing done a day. One thing done. And have your priority list of things that are most important that you should get done. Like every single day, there was a point in my 2023 where I was pretty depressive. I'm not going to lie. And I told myself, on those days, like now it's like, okay, well, Jimmy, you should brush your teeth. Like that should be pretty easy for you to do today. Like brush your teeth, do everything you need to do. That's the bare minimum you should do. And run. Like running is a bare minimum for me. It always was, but there was a time where priorities took whatever. But on your depressive days, know your limits. On my depressive days, there were days I genuinely went, it's going to be a fucking battle. And I know this sounds ridiculous to some people. It's going to be a battle to brush my teeth today. Like, to get up, brush my teeth, and to move is going to be hard for me to do today. But there's also a thing of, if you're nervous or you're scared or you're depressed about doing something, start easy and do the first minute of it. Like, if you want to go run and you've never run before, run for a minute and see how it feels. Like, don't go out and say, I'm going to run 2 miles today. Like, go out, run for a minute. If you're like, oh, I'm depressed today and I don't want to get out of bed. For a minute, just get up and walk around the room. Or like go up, and if you know you can brush your teeth in a minute, like go brush your teeth and like do that really quick and see if you can continue your day. It's mostly for the days where you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today. Just promise yourself you're going to go to the gym for a minute. Like go do one set. Go do one set and see how you feel. And you're usually going to want to stay. It happens to all of us. Like you go do your gym stuff and it's like you stay there for like 3 hours some days on the worst days. Some days your worst days are your best days. Your worst performances are going to be your best performances. This video was way more inspirational and motivating than I thought it was going to be. It's turning more into a podcast than I thought, but that's fine by me because I enjoy that stuff anyway. I mean, you're hearing me kick my Elgato green screen that's in front of me now. It's usually behind me. Was there anything else crazy? Some light things that happened. I had some big truck issues just because I drive a lot. I drive a lot for work. So that was a huge thing for me. And things I spent mostly money on this year. It actually turned into being so much money that at the time I couldn't go on a trip with friends to the Cape for the first time because I had the money to do it, but I was like, well, I want to make sure I have reserves just in case my truck breaks down or does something again. And then on top of it, I was also super busy. So I was like, let me just stay home. I'll stay where I'm at and like not have to worry about it as much. There was also, by the end of 2023, I got more connected to friends I hadn't really talked to a lot in 2023. That's the whole adult thing again. A lot of my friends are starting to have kids or, doing adult things like building gardens and I don't know, like setting up paneling and stuff for their houses. I don't know, like different weird stuff that they do. And I'm sitting over here getting hand tattooed, which is fine. Like I'm sitting over here trying to live my best life, getting hand tattoos and playing music and doing YouTube and performing and stuff like that. And I make my living off of performing and different artsy jobs. But we pick different lifestyles. Like, it's not like every week I'm going to go over or I'm going to I guess I could add that to my schedule, but I'm not a gardener, like it's not like I'm doing that every single day, or I'm not like setting up molding in my house or anything like that. I chose to be a performance artist, and that's another big thing about moving forward, not just for 2024, but just in general. I just want to be more me, which is every year, but I want to be more of who I want to be, especially on the performing and essentially what I want to do. There were a few times this last couple years, especially in like 2021, 2022, not really for 2023, 2024, but there were some jobs I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, but it's kind of beneath me. And I'm like, no job's ever beneath anybody, but it's like not my it's under my qualifications essentially. And I went like, should I apply to it, X, Y, and Z? And there were just some jobs that I didn't hear back from, and I knew it was because I was overqualified. I knew they were going to be like, why would this guy be at this job for like a year or two? And I'm like, artsy jobs, by the way, or like performing jobs. And I had to tell some people like 2023 was also a year of me telling some people like no, like in good ways too. I said, I can't do this job. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Like, I don't have enough time for it, etc. But 2023 had its ups and its downs. I did have, and I did want to be blunt honest about this because I did say that about myself. I did want to be blunt honest in this video and say I did have a couple depressive episodes this year. In 2023. Sorry, it still feels like this year because we've only been in 2024 for now like 2 days. But 2023, I had 2 really big like depressive episodes, and I'm glad that I have the family, the friends, the support system, and who I am as a person behind me and with me. Not that it was that point again of being like, I'm not going to be here anymore. It was more of I want to quit everything. I want to move somewhere else. I want to have a different life. Like, am I doing the right thing in my life? And I think in a weird way I needed that, and it molded me more into the person that I am now, that has a non-give-a-fuck attitude and really pushing forward to be who I want to be and who I am and such like that. Because it was scary. I was waiting to hear back answers from people. I didn't know what my schedule was going to be like at one point, and that's how the cookie crumbles. It's how the ball rolls in the space that I'm at. And if I want to do certain things, I'm going to have to deal with certain consequences or certain conflicts that may happen. And I'm ready for the challenge now, though. Like, I'm so excited for the challenges now. I'm so excited to see what's moving forward and what's going to happen moving forward. But 2023 ended again. I don't know about 2022, but 2023, I'm not going to lie. 2023 ended with, my birthday was in November, and we kept pushing back all I wanted to do for my birthday was go out to karaoke. That's all we wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. And it got pushed to one of the last possible days in December, which was December 30th. We went to a karaoke pub bar. I guess bub would be the word for it if it was combined. But I went out for the first time in a long time. And, I'm like 170s. And, I'm not the most confident, right? I am confident, but I'm not like the most I've ever been. Like when I was 150s, I felt a lot better. I felt more myself. But I am in different ways more myself and better than I was because I'm growing in every single aspect, etc., blah, blah, blah. And 2023, I ended with a very amazing group of friends that I hope to have for the rest of my life. And New Year's Eve really showed me what I have and how lucky and grateful I am with not only family, with friends, but just who I am as a person and moving forward and the abilities and the talents that I have, and hopefully I continue to hone them and to push forward and to do the things and to strive for the things that I want to do. I really believe if you put in the work and you do what you want, you will achieve anything. And I'm saying that for 2024, as long as I am not a depressy fuck and I actually be happy and do the things that I want to do and not care as much and just like be human and post the things that I want to do, 2024 will be exactly the year that I fucking make it and do everything that I want to do. Now, 2024, there's going to be a video of me and my New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. I will post that hopefully soon and with everything that I want to do. It's going to be very light, I think, this year because I just want to kind of allow things to happen. But I can say really quick, whether I make the 2024 video or not, I'll give some hints here and there really quick, like the basic points, and I'll go in and elaborate if people actually want to hear them. 2024, I want to be able to play guitar. Like, I actually want to be a good guitarist. Not like the chords and how I've been for years. I want to get better at drums. I want to be like where I used to be and even better. 2024, I will be 150 again and lower. I will gain muscle eventually, but that's after I get back down to 150. I will be in a caloric deficit for as long as I need, and then it will be my lifestyle again. I want to have more time for fun, whether that's actually working and having fun or actually like just having fun in general. And the biggest thing for me, besides like, the easy stuff for me that I've always done anyway is like always continuing to get more performance jobs, always continuing to be myself and to like elevate, upgrade, always being better and better and better. The thing I realized at the end of 2023, and I used to be really good at it, and I'm still okay. Like, I can always put up a front or act, or like, not that I'm acting, but like I can perform myself into anything I need to. I've noticed I'm not as social as I used to be. Now, I don't know if that's because I've become more calm and more like, hey, I'm more reserved and like, etc. But like, I get pretty loud and boisterous when I'm around certain people and when I feel confident and good and comfortable. And the night out, it was still amazing, by the way. Still like 10 out of 10. Great birthday celebration, end of the new year, etc. Yeah, I just noticed I'm not as social as I used to be. And especially when I'm by myself. And hopefully that can transfer into like going out and talking to women, having a dating life, being able to like socialize and to connect with people, because it only really comes up now when I'm with a group of friends or I'm now when I'm with a group of friends, I'm good and I'm fine, but I want to be able to just be fine by myself again like I used to be able to. Or I'm at a work thing and I have to be like talking and being personable, but that's more like a work thing for me. I want to be able to just do it myself and just have fun, which I can, but I need to do it more. And just as always, not caring and continuing to live that Lions Pride, Lions Heart motto and to be myself and to just continue being happy. That's all I really want. I just want to be happy. And the rest of my tabletop group and friends all say the same thing. We just want to be happy. We just want to move forward and be happy. But I will actually end the video there. There's probably a million other things I forgot about 2023. I also got COVID. I don't think anything crazy happened. Like, I don't think I was like 2022 was the year that like I think I got like super sick, and I mean I got sick in 2023, super sick too, but not as bad. I had more truck issues in 2022 into 2023, but nothing crazy happened. It wasn't like I was in a bad breakup or I was, dealing with certain friends or family and situationships or anything like that. So moving forward, 2024 is just going to be good, happy, and doing what I want. And hopefully I'll have a schedule for YouTube videos and Twitch streaming, because I want to be able to do TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube streaming all at once. We'll see. I did a few TikTok drum things, so we'll see. But as always, my name is James Joseph Edward Jesberger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, let me know if you like this setup. I personally love this. It just takes a little bit to like move everything, which is fine, but okay, see you guys in the next one.